Thank you so much for having me here today. This is pretty unreal. I never thought I'd see that video on a screen in a room like this. That's actually my handwriting on those Post-it notes. As Ms. Steinem mentioned, only 14% of engineers in this country are women. And that's a huge problem. We outlined some of that in the PSA you just saw. But with this audience, I think it's important to really talk about why engineering. Why do we care so much about engineering? And there's the obvious stuff, like engineers make more money, and engineers enjoy better job security. But really, engineers build the world around us. They build everything from the chairs you're sitting on, to the teleprompter I wish I had decided to use, to the chandeliers that we're supposed to swing from later. And with most of the engineers in this world being men, we truly do live in a man's world. And that's a problem. The female perspective is indeed so important. But to me, when I think about girls in engineering, it's a little bit more than that. I like to tell people when I'm explaining what engineering is, and it's not like a guy driving a train. I often explain that in the world, patterns that you see in nature, that's science. So when something happens in a pattern, engineering is being willing to mess with that, to mess with patterns in the world that you don't like. And I think that it's so critical and so important to give girls this idea from very, very early on, that if there's a pattern in the world that they don't like, they can change it. They can build a solution that works for them. And if we give these girls the opportunity to understand that, and the role models that they need to believe that they can build their own futures, the future's indeed so much brighter. We often say that girls are so much more than princesses, despite what you see out in the media, and despite the way that they're often portrayed. And I honestly believe that. Obviously, standing here, it occurs to me that Goldie Blox and all the work that we're doing, we're standing on the shoulders of giants, absolute giants. And literally, none of the work that we're doing or the impact that we're making would be possible without all of the incredible women in this room, and all the hard work that's been done over the years to really set us up for success here. Personally, I stood on the shoulders of one giant. Her name's Sherry, and I see her. It's my mom. And my mom, Sherry, was an English teacher for 36 years. She wasn't an engineer. But we didn't have any money because she was an English teacher, and we don't value teachers here in the US. So she had to do things like fix our washing machine, re-roof our house, repair my bicycle when it was broken. That was important. And it's things like that, it's everyday things like that that every woman, every mom, every aunt, niece, grandma, or friend, every opportunity we take to show girls that they can take charge and that it's normal for a woman to do this stuff is valuable. So thank you so much to all the women and men in this room that teach their daughters and teach little girls that they're so much more than princesses, that they're so much more than beautiful, and that they can build their own futures. Thank you so much.